Hello, this is part 33 of Gwathon's Games completionist run of Lord of the Rings Online. I'm at Dwaling in Evendim doing a set of quests in this village that ruffians have taken over. And the first stage is to pick up these glass blowing tools. And I've milestone straight back to the camp where all the refugees have gathered. Now, the next step is to check a certain person's house and make sure that it's okay. There's only a few of these chiefs ruffians to take out of the way. The chief actually means Lotho Sackville Baggins, though we're not supposed to know that yet. And the third part, to ring a doorbell. There's an instance inside this place, but it doesn't start until you go back to the glassblower camp. I just pick my way through to them. And here we are inside that same building, and there's going to be waves of these guys. So my two most useful things are rain of arrows, like I did just then, and I think it's called broadside or blindside, where I hit everyone surrounding me with a melee attack. That one took a long time to drop. And some of them are windbags, but there was someone else hiding around inside the door, and another one. They activate one at a time. You can't take them out with an area of effects ability. Right, and that was the boss down. So now I finished that and I get the title Server of Process. Now, the quest to collect sand is the beginning of the process of actually doing some glass blowing. The sand here is obviously the main ingredient for the glass, but they do coloured glass here as well, so there'll be further quite a big set of hunting quests to get other ingredients from animals around. Yeah, the only real pests in this area are the salamanders, because they can do a fire-based damage over time. Fire to you. But I'm killing as few animals as possible, picking up the sand, because I want them to be there when I come back for the next wave of quests. Dodging the spiders because I don't have the quest for them yet. Right, a whole bunch of new quests pop up, sometimes multiple ones from the same person, and they want ingredients for blue glass, red glass, etc. But first, the lowest level quest on my list, these turquoise ones, involves going into this goblin camp to find a dead spider. It's been poisoned. There it is. And take out enough goblins, because they're holding river stones, which are also going to be an ingredient in the glass blowing. And I love taking out, when I'm high enough level, taking out the whole group of those boggarts with one AoE shot. I'm likely to do that a few times, even if I don't have a quest for them. Right, I do have the quest for the spiders now. Now they're a lot more spread out and dotted around than the other things I'm hunting for. And there's a salamander. I do want them now. In fact, getting enough salamanders will fulfill 2 quests. And so will these things, the Norbogs. When I kill one of those, 2 messages come up to say I've progressed a quest. And there goes a level. I'm now level 35. I'll go just sort of third or half of the way into level 35, and then I'll use this tortoise, Stone of the Tortoise, to stop gaining any more XP for a while. But I like it that I'm gaining something from doing all of these hunting quests. Salamander, I've got enough. No, yeah, there he blasted me. Came pretty close to dead then. They're still going to get in my way, but I've got enough salamanders now. The Norbog quest is partly getting a few huge Norbogs, and they're in one specific place, quite some distance from Dwaling. Sometimes I can kill them before they blow up. Right, that's enough ordinary Norbig. I'm pulling a pointer to the other ones. There's just 2 of them, but I've just got to find them amongst everything else. And using Heartseeker brought him down fast. Oh, and I need those Limrayan, those glowing things. They're the hardest things to find of all these hunting quests. So, weaving around the whole area looking for them. There's one. And if I can't find them, I'll use, the hunting ability, tracking ability the hunter has. And it's leading me to more Limrayan. But I realised they're not on the ordinary animal hunt. It's the 3rd one that your hunter gets. It's for spirits and undead. Once I realised that, it became a lot easier. Oh, the big red dot on the mini map shows me where it is. Try again, and there's 2 of them I can see. Oops. But I didn't need the other one. Finished all those hunting, except the spiders, which, as I said, are dotted around the place. So I'll go on in a big circle around Dwaling to find them. Yes, Dwaling properly is the village that the ruffians have taken over. It's not the glassblowers' camp. But I've got to get, I think it's 8 of the yellow spiders and 8 of the black ones. Yep, and I've got 1 more of each, I think, to get. And there we go, another load of boggarts. Now I know there's some at the top of this hill, some spiders. All right, there's the yellow one, one more black. There it is. Okay, I can now hand all of these things in. Whittling the list right down. And now's the actual glass blowing. So I've got all the ingredients. Now I'm sorting out my inventory because I'm running things at sort of blue and turquoise level. The things I get from defeated monsters and elsewhere usually themselves too low a level to be of any use. Lost leaf of paper back down in Dwaling. And I've now put the stone of the tortoise on. You can tell by the grey colour on the XP meter at the bottom of the screen. So I'll be staying here at about a third of the way through level 35 until the quests that I'm doing start to become white or worse. Right, now I've got to go back to the goblin village, and this is harder. Got to find torches and set fire to bubbling pots. Now there's plenty of pots, but not many torches. And searching for them, I keep getting taken by surprise by fire throwers. Took out the boggarts. There's a pot, and they blow up too. So I got fire blasted time and time again doing this. But it comes from hurrying too much, not noticing that I'm being ambushed. Trying to pick my way among them to get the torches instead of taking them out first. That's the problem. Fine thing for a heavy armoured class to do, because you don't care about being hit in the back. Not such a good tactic for hunters. I mean, if I was a Bjorning, which is one of my favourite classes, I would just stroll in, take the torches, take the pots, and bother to kill the things that had started attacking me afterwards. Just rear up and slash them all. I chose Hunter for this completionist run because it's quicker to hit things from range, but mostly because of all of the Hunter's transport abilities and the tracking ability to speed up hunting quests. Now I've moved on to the next space. Here at the Colossus, King's Crossing, and they've got a whole round of quests for me to do between there and the river. Although I always do the first two, these lurkers and the piles of rubble, and go back to the camp to get the second round. Works out quicker that way. So back down. And both of these people will give me a second quest. But now I want to go right down to the river's edge. There's a ruin full of more rocks to pull up and look under. I've got to take out the more lurkers along the way. Lurk, lurk, and here we're getting to the small rocks. And you must kill the burrowing silt crawler, even though it doesn't attack you, to fulfill the quest. Not just a matter of exposing them. The ones that are already crawling around don't count for the quest. but they will count for a later quest, so I will be back here. Now the lurker, and starting to collect the bits and pieces to repair the catapult up above the Colossus. And driftwood, and there's something else. Yeah. Get rid of that fly swarm. I've got enough lurkers now. So I'm only going to be taking out the ones in my way, like that one. Flywheels, driftwood. Most of it's on this side of the river, but a few things are across the way. Get that out the way. And that's it for this side of the river. Apart from picking these things up, I've just got to pick up some crates from the middle of the river and then start work on killing the smugglers or the tomb robbers here. And this is where the reason comes in that I went to Chenadir and got that Raiders Sashes quest, because I'll be fulfilling that too at the same time. Right, start taking out the robbers in the way. There are a whole bunch of doors that I've got to not enter but just walk up close to and see. And two of them are in these sort of outhouses away from the main ruin, but the rest are inside, so that means taking out plenty of robbers. I'm certainly going to hit the necessary 10 or 12 before I've done all the doors. And I'll be doing more or less this same path in reverse later on when I get a quest to pick up some items. Scruffy tomb robber. Right, I've got enough now, so it's just the doors. There's another one. There's one more inside, and I got that one very quickly just by jumping over a wall. And the last one is outside the ruined walls. And there's a boss that I used a Heart Seeker on. I'll need him for real later. Okay. Try and fight the fewest. Oh, no, one came up beside me. And I've already stepped near enough to that door. So now, mithril back to the camp and hand in tons of quests again. This time not getting XP for them. Right, and I've taken a fast ride to Chenadir because I've got a couple of things I can hand in here. That's the Tomb Raiders Sashes, and once I've handed 10 to him, I can actually use the others. If you make a mistake and use them as reputation items and then go back to hand some to that guy, you don't have them anymore. You've got to go get 10 more. So that's the reason I did things in the order I did. Now up high, near the catapult that needs repairing, and I've got to take out several scouts. And when I find my way back, get another quest for crawlers. Now I decided I would go down to that little ruin and take out the kurgan that's inside before anything else. Oh, I want those silk crawlers. That guy's just in the way, but in here we have a Kurgan named Carrion, and I gave him a Heartseeker plus one more attack. That was enough. Now I'm looking for the crawlers, and there'll be several on the way, but I'll get most of them in that ruin where I was lifting up rocks before. Each one, apparently, every one has a jewel hidden in it. Right, that's enough. So now I'm going over to get the two bosses. One of them I got once before, but Oaks is one of them, and he was easily dealt with, but the other one's behind more protection, and including that one, or those two that came up behind me. So just clear the way. Now, there's the sword, the vase and the shield to pick up. Like I said, I'm going in the opposite direction towards the west. But you've got to get up to the next height, and it's in a very difficult place if you haven't already done it before. Hard to find. You have to go through this sort of window to the left here, and it's on a roof. But that is a good place to jump down, and the shield is just round the back. So that's that. Everything's fulfilled in the second wave here. So I didn't update the milestone, so I went to Dwaling and then rode to here. Right. Wave of hand-ins, and one of them wants me to climb a rope up to the head of the statue. Now, because it was darkness, there really wasn't much to see up there, but sort out inventory again. Right, I took a little break there, as you can see by the change of night to day. But the only two things left to do for King's Crossing is go into each of those outhouses that I had to discover in the first wave. One of them dead ahead there. Get these usual guys out of my way. Here's one of them. And every time you activate one of these carts, 2 or 3 enemies appear. And the first time I didn't know they were appearing behind me, so I activated them all at once and suddenly found myself with a crowd of foes. That was the easy way. Yeah, I want to ride down to the river as the easiest way to get across to the other outhouse. Yep, one of them chased me. Get him out of the way. And this is simpler. This is just take out the monsters first and then activate what's in here. The ancient tomb. And that brings a boss who talks a lot. There we go. That's that. Mithril again. Back to the camp, and I'm finished with it. Time to go on to Tinadir. And I've got 2 other quests that I've been waiting for Tinadir. Shush, dog. My dog growls at horses on the screen sometimes. Okay. First I'm handing in, I've already handed in that sash thing. So there are 2 quests to pick up over near the crafting centre, and the rest are in the ruin here. Well, Cowway gives you a lot to do, including several vector quests. And Calanglad begins sort of the major set of quests for Tinadir. Now, I decided I want to shrink the list quickly by going around and doing all of the vector quests. Because there's a possibility if I don't, I might hit the maximum of 10, and then I could get confused. So first I've got to talk to someone here in Esteldine. I could have used a hunter's transport to get there instead of the stable, but then on to that was Angmar. Well, I've already been to that camp. I had to talk to the chief there. And Barakan's camp, which is the beginning of Troll Shores. And I'll be interrupting questing in Evendim to do the Troll Shores when I've got it about half done. And go off and see Elrond. Took the opportunity to sell things here. In his library as usual, just to get it off the list of quests. Now I decided to mithril straight to this island, Tilruinen, and I'll do the quests here next time.